up, my friends? How are you guys doing today? I hope you're having a great day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Thanks for swinging by, stopping by for just a few minutes and talking about movies with me. Today we are going to be discussing a movie from 2005 directed by a gentleman named Billy O'Brien. Oh, that's Irish as all get out, isn't it? Well, I guess that fits, seeing as how it's an Irish movie. It's called Isolation. It's got a young Sean Harris and Ruth Negga in it. And guys, this was a pretty solid little monster movie. I ain't gonna lie. So I heard about this movie because a friend of mine had brought up, it had a little thing online and it had like a row of monsters on top, one in the middle and one at the bottom. And it said, can you name what movie all these monsters come from? And the one that I didn't really know was the monster from this movie, Isolation. And so once I found out where the monster was from, and I hadn't seen the movie, I said, well, let me just go ahead and see if I can find that to watch. And sure enough, guys, I found it, and it was good, okay? Let's talk about it. It is basically Sean Harris and Ruth Negga are camping in kind of like this guy's property. It's private property. It's like a cow farm. And, this guy's raising these cattle, but what they don't know is there's this, like, scientific research going on there that this, like, a genetic doctor or whatever is doing, and the cows are mutating, right? Well, that's unbeknownst to anyone. The farmer just thinks that the guy's doing, like, research on the reproductive systems of cows, or something that's pretty mundane. It's not dangerous, it's not crazy, it's definitely not mad scientist type stuff. That's not what he's thinking. And so he finds Sean Harris and Ruth on his property in their camper. He's like, you can't be here. And then some things go down and they wind up kind of getting stranded there with the farmer. And then the farmer, his calf, one of his calves is born kind of weird. The vet comes out and does an autopsy on it, finds some other, like the calf was pregnant inside the mom, right? Which is wild. But then what the calf was pregnant with was like these little creatures, right? Where it was like mutated calves, but their skeletons were on the outside. And it basically looked like crazy shrimp, when they first come out. And man, it gets wild because these things can infect people and animals, and like they grow and they eat their way out of you. Like, it's crazy wild. And like, it started off and I was like, this is all right. I mean, it's an Irish flick. I can't really understand them. Let me turn the subtitles on. And as the story kept going, it just started like an onion, like more layers started being revealed. Like, he's doing some crazy stuff here. Shame on you, Mr. Scientista, but it just kept getting, it reminded me a lot of John Carpenter's The Thing, because, it would go into people and the people wouldn't really know they were infected kind of thing. And then the next thing you know, these little shrimp creatures are tearing their way out of them. And there's some really good cinematography, some really good scenes in this. There's a scene where our guy is in a tractor in like a cesspool. Guys, you couldn't pay me enough. You couldn't pay me all the money in the world. You couldn't say, here's all of Fort Knox to go climb in a poo-poo pit and wait around in there looking for a monster. No, sir. I don't care if I am on a tractor. No, sir. It's one thing to go in there, you're like already worrying about getting infected by this creature, but now you got to worry about gonocephalitis or whatever from whatever's in this poo-poo water that this creature's living in. No, sir. I'd be like, I ain't a farmer. This ain't my bag, baby. Not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm out of here. Peace. You would have seen me go, right? So, I mean, there's some really intense scenes here. There's some really crazy creature effects too, and they're practical. This is 2005. This is before we get crazy CGI everything, right? And this is before horror movies were all based around some kind of traumatic event that our main character has. No, this is just good old-fashioned monster movie storytelling, and I am all in for it. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I mean, it's got The monsters are appropriately nasty looking, you know, because they're like deformed, hideous creatures. And then our acting, we got Sean Harris. And Sean Harris, for you guys who don't know who Sean Harris is, he's one of the bad guys in Mission Impossible with the Tom Cruise. He's the king in the Green Knight. That's one of his most recent roles I can think of. I think he's in the film The Stranger. He's really good at the kind of somber, depressed, disturbed acting with his facials and stuff like that. And Ruth Negga, I can't remember anything off the top of my head that she's been in, but just know that she's really good at what she does, right? And these guys turned in a solid performance. Everybody in here, the farmer, I can't remember that guy's name. I wish I'd have written it. Goodness, poor English. I wish I would have written it down so that I could remember his name, because he was a fantastic actor too. He really delivered in the spots that he was in, you know, being traumatized by his deformed cows and, you know, seeing things that are happening to people and riding a tractor into a doo-doo muck, you know, whatever. He was good in it. This whole film was a solid monster film, and I really, really liked it. So if you guys want to check it out, it's streaming on Prime Video, it's streaming on Freevee, and it's streaming on Tubi. Okay, those are your three options, or you can buy it, I guess, if you want to, which it's well worth a purchase if you can find it in your budget, you know, in your price range, you know. But I'm going to give Isolation 3.5 stars. It's well worth your time, guys. I didn't want to say too much because I think that if you go in knowing, you know, some of the things that I've told you, and, you know, it might make you stick around, because the beginning is kind of slow. I'm not going to lie. It's a little slow in the beginning, but it picks up second act and into the third. You're like, what is going on? So anyway, guys, that is it for Isolation. I appreciate you watching my videos so much. If you like them, by all means, please like and subscribe. And guys, I'm going to keep making them as long as you guys keep watching them. Thank you so much. God bless you, my friends, and I will see you soon.